Hey there, friends and enemies, Tropy here again, and today I want to go over my Sephiroth deck in Magic the Gathering, and this card means a lot to me. It was the biggest card I have pulled since coming back to the game. I did get the borderless full art version, which I think looks awesome, and because of that, I absolutely will be sticking with this as one of my commander decks for the foreseeable future, but I do wonder how I can improve upon my deck list as it stands. Now, keep in mind, I've only used cards that I have personally pulled or otherwise come across, whether it is through packs, whether it's through just random finds that I've been able to get. I haven't specifically gone out and looked for any individual additions to this deck or built around Sephiroth, and so because of that, there's not going to be a perfect synergy here, and I do think there's a lot of places where I can improve upon this, and that's why I'm kind of making this video. I also want to talk about some cards that I'm looking to add as potential updates and cards that I think will be really good additions overall to this deck. And so I want to go over it real quick, but just let me know what you guys think. I do have a game changer in this deck as well, but overall, I don't think this is all that strong. I would like to make it a bit more powerful to play with new pawns, because right now I only play with some friends of mine, and we've been tinkering with things, so I'd love to take this outside of my comfort zone as well. Anyway, this deck has the following creatures: Acolyte of Alcazatz. We've got Albed Scavengers, IR, the first of Lochthwain, a Brackish Trudge, the Crypt Gas, Gaius Van Belsar, Golbez, Gravedigger, Gravewalker, Greedy Freebooter, Infestation Stage, Interceptor, Shadow's Hound, Marauding Blight Priest, Nightmare. Nightmare is a card that I played with a lot when I was playing Magic a long time ago, so that's a bit of a nostalgia pick for sure. I'm a sentimental Magic player, so there's some cards in here, like the Final Fantasy ones, and some other editions that I just have in here because I really like the cards and the theme fit, even if they're not the best option. I do have Orcish Bowmasters. I know that's a game changer card. It has been one of those cards that I've resisted using. I did pull this from a pack, and ever since then I've been like, I don't want to throw this in any of these decks, but since I want to make this one a lot higher tier in order to be more competitive, which it definitely is not right now, I figured this would be the perfect addition. I can swap this out if I play a little bit more casually, but even with this card, I don't think the deck is anything crazy. Royal Assassin, Seymour Flux, Shadow, Siegfried, Starscape Cleric, Summon Anima, Summon Primal Odin. There's cards like this one that I'll probably leave in even if it's not the best option, just because I love it. Synapse Necromage, Undercity Dire Rat, and Vengeful Blood Witch. I know there are some in there that I can swap out. Generally, my goal is creatures that I could either enhance through sacking other creatures, or I get a benefit when I sack them, such as additional creatures, gaining life, whatever the case may be. Because of the flip side of Sephiroth, when I'm going to have, hopefully, the emblem, I basically want to put Sephiroth out, flip it, get the emblem, maybe do that again in the future in order to, whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses life and I gain a life, I want to do that as often as possible. Then sorceries: Annihilating Glare, Corrupt, Deadly Embrace, Evil Reawakened, Poison the Waters, Profane Tutor, Rush of the Dread, Salt Road Skirmish, Shadow the Enemy, Shantoto's Coercion, Final Days, and Victimize. Again, I think like 97% of these cards I pulled from packs. The other little bit I've either gotten at, like, I have a local flea market that I just pick up random cards from, or I go on like Whatnot and I'll get some random cards either through like some kind of a bid process like they do singles, or more likely I did some kind of wheel spin or something like that. I don't know. So that's largely how I get cards. I don't really buy individual singles. Sometimes I will, like I'll tell you about one in a little bit, but that I just recently picked up. But other than that, I mostly just get them from packs, and that's my personal way. I'm just a sucker for ripping packs. Anyway, instance, we got Alicia's Legacy, Barren Rivalry, Battle of the Big Bridge, Body Count, Dark Ritual, Fight On, Force of Despair, Grave Endeavor, Hazel's Nocturne, Overkill, and Sephiroth's Intervention. Again, I know this deck, because of some overpriced cards, is expensive as well, but that doesn't mean a lot to me necessarily outside of just feeling really cool to use, even though I know it's not, like, again, it's not anything insane. Ashnod's Altar, Dark Knight's Greysword, Elixir, Jet Medallion, Reaper's Scythe, Sinister Monolith, Masamune, Transmigrant Altar. There's certain cards like Masamune that I would never swap out just because it just fits the theme so well. So I believe that's one to keep in mind. Enchantments, Blackwater, Black Market Connections, Hopeless Nightmare, Necrosynthesis, Long Reach of the Night. Then we've got Bear-Dur, Midgar, Susur, Secundi. This is what I might just swap out. I don't know how often I will station it, but I do like this card. And then 34 Swamps. So some of the cards that I'm going to potentially throw in here that I wanted to get some general ideas on how well they would fit in. First off, this one I'm definitely adding is Behold the Sinister Six. This allows me to return up to 6 target creatures. It is very expensive, but I'm going to help that out, hopefully that cost, as well as another card that I want to add with Black Market. This would allow me to stack a lot of black mana whenever a creature dies. At pre-com and main phase, I add a black mana free each charge counter on that. That was why I've also got a card that I really want to add to this deck as well. I think I just added it on accident, but my apologies there. Yeah, I added it. Okay, so Morloon, Devourer of Spiders. So this one, I believe, would be very nice with that combination because he enters with X +1/+1 counters on him, depending on how much mana I can use. So I hopefully should be able with this, with the other options I have here. Maybe I'm not fast enough to really make Morloon be super useful, but again, could be very, very nice. Again, I'm definitely adding Black Market and Behold the Sinister Six. So there is the Super Void. I did pull this after I built this deck, and I'm kind of interested in potentially throwing that in there as well. But I do feel like it is one of those cards that I could go either way. I like what it does because I would get additional benefit whenever a creature I control dies. Each opponent chooses a creature they control and exiles it. Again, for Sephiroth, it says when creatures die. So because the enemy wouldn't have creatures dying, they'd be exiled. It's not as useful, so I probably would not add it. It's just the type of card that, since I pulled it, I've been wanting, just like the Orcish Bowmasters, I've been looking for a place to throw it in, and I just haven't found the perfect deck to use it. So hopefully I can do that at some point. It's not the most OP deck card, but I do think it's one I want to add eventually. The others I'll definitely look to toss in. I'd be very curious to see what everyone else thinks on which cards I could take out for Morloon, Black Market, and Behold the Sinister Six. I do feel like those are cards that I would want in this deck overall. Again, I know this deck is costly, so I'm not expecting other people to build this necessarily. If you look at like Cryptghast, I was very fortunate to get that one super cheap. Or I think I might have got it for free. I'm not sure exactly. Again, the majority of the other cards in here I have pulled. Even Orcish Bowmasters I pulled. And yeah, that's an insane price for that card. So some of these are quite pricey, and so because of that, I do understand that it's not going to be the kind of deck that everyone can throw together, but I just wanted to know general consensus, how I could improve upon this one. And because I've recently come back to Commander and I only play in my own pod, I'd also be very curious to see what bracket as is you guys would put this in. I think it's, again, can't be higher than a 3, I would imagine, even with the Orcish Bowmasters, but that might tilt things in the favor. But again, I could be way off and I just don't know it. So because of that, I do want to know what the general consensus is for a lot of people, just because of how I've built this deck and how what changes I can make. Are there any cards out there that are budget ads. I know this deck is expensive, but I won't spend a lot of money on singles. Uh, Unless I like, if I'm trying to be super competitive, I would consider it, but that's really what I want to know. What cards are the would be must adds to this deck? Like, is there any cards that if I add it, it would absolutely be necessary, and it would be a game changer for this type of option? Whereas I know some of the cards out there will be nice to have, but maybe not necessarily too insane. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What would you do to change this deck? I might make this a series and go over all of my decks, just because, again, I'm in the process of learning right now. I don't have any insane, like, I definitely don't have any CEDH decks. And so because of that, I do feel like it's one of those where I want to have at least one deck that can compete at a little bit higher level, maybe not necessarily bracket 4, bracket 5 all the time, because I know those decks can be expensive. They can be tough to throw together. You need a lot of interesting cards, but I'm just very curious to see what everyone else thinks overall, what you would change, all that kind of good stuff. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like the video as always, comment, subscribe. Have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.